Today I'm going to be talking about where to get your ideas from. You've been thinking about writing your novel for a while now, but you're not really sure of which idea to go with, or you're struggling to come up with an idea at all, but you still have this passion to write this work, to tell a story. Well, this video is for you because I have 5 tips on how to discover the perfect idea for your novel. For one, we're going to break that mental roadblock you've set up in your mind. If you've been walking around saying things like, I don't have any ideas, I really want to write a novel but I can't think of anything original, then you're just reaffirming this idea that you have no ideas. So we're going to break down that mental roadblock with this exercise. You're going to grab a piece of paper, you're going to grab a pen, and you're going to start brainstorming literally every single story idea you've ever thought of and you can think of in this exercise. Just write down everything, even if it's a repeat of stories you've read. Write down underdog story or boy meets girl, whatever. Write down how you like to spend your free time. What are your hobbies? What topics or subjects interest you? Are you interested in science, in history? Do you like video games? Are you interested in health or in fitness or something else? Just write it all down, because I promise this will come in handy once we get to step 4. 2 is figuring out, you can see it now. Step number 2 is figuring out which books you like to read. Now, you may innately know which books you like to read, or you may think that you read really broadly, that you read non-fiction, fiction, literary, every genre. Chances are, though, there is a particular type of book you read the most often. That being said, I don't want you to get too stuck up on the types of books you read most often. For instance, I read a lot of historical fiction, but I would never, ever consider writing historical fiction. It just doesn't interest me. In fact, a lot of authors don't read the same genre they write in. A lot of crime writers don't read crime, and a lot of thriller writers don't read thrillers. A lot of romance writers don't read romance. Just because you like a particular genre doesn't mean you have to write within it. 3, nearly got it in there. That's what she said. Figuring out what your themes are, or what themes you're interested in. In terms of storytelling, a theme is the topic that a novel deals with, or it's the idea that the author is trying to convey or explore. Some common themes are family, loyalty, suppression, racism, technology, capitalism, politics. You get the idea. It's the big stuff that makes life. The themes I'm most interested in are mortality, fear, and trauma. Thanks, Metallica. It's time to go on to step number 4, which is consuming content. Now, this is the fun step. This is when you're going to go out and you're going to read news articles, you're going to listen to music, you're going to read books, you can watch Netflix. Really uncomfortable with making that suggestion. Anyway, so you're going to consume content, but you're not going to do this mindlessly. While you're listening to music or reading these books, I want you to have your themes, your ideas, and your interests in the back of your mind, because you're looking for seeds. You're looking for things that are going to spark ideas. Say you're interested in World War I or World War II or any other war. You can read some historical fiction books that deal with World War I or World War II. Maybe you can read some non-fiction books that deal with those time periods. Go on to Trove and read through a ton of news articles from those times. You never know what's going to spark your interest. But this is the important thing, consuming this content, you should be taking note of all the little ideas or interesting things you come across. It might be a fact that gives you an idea. It might be a line of dialogue in a book or a quote in a news article. The point is writing down that stuff that makes you pause and go, Now, I'm going to quote Stephen King here. He often marries 2 ideas together, and that's how he comes up with something really juicy. So, once you've got a whole list of things produced from your content gathering, 5 steps at the start of this video, didn't I? We're going to call this step 4.5. So hard to do. So now you're going to take your themes, the notes from the content you consumed, your mind map, and you're going to spread them all out, and you're going to look if there's anything that could connect together. Are there any two ideas that you could sticky tape together and make a little idea baby? It takes a long time to make videos. I'm really tired. Now, if you still can't really think of an idea, then I've got step number 5, which is stealing stuff. When I say stealing stuff, I mean taking story ideas that other people have already written and rewriting them the way you want to write them. For example, you might really like Greek mythology, so why not take one of those stories and recast it in a contemporary landscape? Or maybe you're a really big fan of Shakespeare, so you could do a new version of Romeo and Juliet. Whatever! People have made a buttload of money off doing this tactic. 50 Shades of Grey. So there you have it. That's my top 5 tips for generating ideas. If you liked this video, feel free to hit subscribe or check out my website. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next week. Happy writing. Please number 3. Ooh, I got it in that time. Please be surprised and a little disappointed to realize that you've got a really small niche of shit you're interested in. 3. I'll get it eventually, I promise. In terms of story, let's say you have an interest in modern history, because you figured that out while you were brainstorming.